You're with the Breaker-Leggers,
and we are in London at the Old Vic
to see the play Fanny and Alexander.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs.
Whether it's break a leg or leg it. You want to keep your finger on the theatrical pulse?
For theatre news, reviews and interviews,
just hit subscribe now.
Hit subscribe now. So we are here at the Old Vic to see Fanny and Alexander. What do we know about this?
Well, it's a play based upon the Ingmar Bergman film of the same name, which has been adapted for the stage by Beresford. Now, Beresford notably also wrote the screenplay for the 2014 movie Pride,
yes,
which was great.
What else do we know?
We also know that this has been directed by Max Webster. Now, Max is an associate director here at the Old Vic, and he also directed recently here The Lorax 2015, and then it came back a year later and played another Christmas season. We did catch that before we were leggers, and
it's okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Something for the kids.
Yeah.
This is based on a movie, you say? I've never seen the film.
No, neither have I. All I know is it tells the story of two children named Fanny and Alexander, funnily enough, who live in quite a theatrical world which becomes threatened by the presence of their mother's new husband, who happens to be a cold-hearted, brutal local bishop. Penelope Wilton is in the cast for this. She has had 6 nominations for Olivier Awards, including 1 win, and she played Harriet Harper, the Prime Minister, in Doctor Who. So that's a pop culture reference. Also Michael Pennington, who has masses of theatre credits to his name, in the role of Isaac.
This is a bit of an epic. We see many things. Some things are 90 minutes. Some things happen to be 3.5 hours long with 2 intervals.
Yes, which this is. So I guess we'll see you again soonish, or maybe not.
So we've come to the first interval of Fanny and Alexander, which means it is time for the Breaker-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. Go! What do you think so far?
Yeah, I really like it. It's zippy, it's a strong story, there's some lovely performances, there's some beautiful lighting. All the elements are adding up to a really enjoyable show so far. What about you?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but some really strong characters, really lovely use of music. It's moving so well and flowing really nicely. I'm quite swept away with it. The story is evolving massively, and it's only one of the 3 acts.
Well, we've come to the interval, the second interval for Fanny and Alexander, which means it's time for our second Breaker-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. Go! What do you think so far?
Well, it's taken a very dark turn. It's almost quite thriller-esque, like on a scale of like Hand That Rocks the Cradle and Cape Fear, domestic thriller kind of thing. It's really gripping and quite dark.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't like period dramas as a rule of thumb, but I'm totally taken in by this. You can hear a pin drop in the auditorium, everyone is gripped, and I can't wait to find out how this is going to end up.
The stakes are high. What is going to happen? We have come to the end of the epic that is Fanny and Alexander here at the Old Vic, 2 intervals down. So, what did you make of that?
Well, who knew that I'd enjoy Fanny so much? I had a great time. I thought it was lavish, I thought it was sumptuous, I thought it was beautiful, I thought it was captivating, I thought it was dramatic, and I thought it was just an all-round bloody rewarding evening.
Oh, that's good. That's positive. I'm going to say I really enjoyed it as well. I don't know, I think there's almost something wrong. I don't know what you think with the Old Vic's kind of marketing. The kind of posters are just a bit bleh. There's nothing
the
fancy.
image they are using for this is literally nothing. It's literally just bold typeface on a plain colour.
Yeah, usually it's just the title, and if they've got a name, maybe a simple image, which doesn't sell it. So I've got to be honest, I wasn't overly like, oh, Fanny Alexander, oh, I'm really excited about this. I knew nothing about it, which I guess is a good platform really, to come in with no expectations at all, just a clean slate.
Yeah, and that's something that you're very good at, avoiding any sort of review before we see a piece. I mean, I
try and avoid everything.
I booked this on the strength of the reviews that I had read. I had seen some great things about this show, and it suddenly became something that wasn't on my radar at all, and became something that I thought, do you know what, we should see this, and I am glad that we did.
Yes, which is exactly what I'm saying. Come with no expectations, not really thinking much, not being livid much. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I don't mind things being long, as long as they're good. Just please be good if you're going to be long. And it was. Each act as well was very different, had a very different tempo and a very different feel.
Yeah.
The first act was very fun, very jovial, very creative, but ended on a low. Second act was tense, man. And then on the third act you kind of had your reconciliation, but also some really nice reflective moments as well, all throughout as well, kind of supernatural kind of things going on, so you never quite know what's real, what isn't, but it's playing with some really nice themes.
I've got to say I struggled with the tone a little bit, because it is wildly different. The only thing that I can kind of compare it to is the difference between Angels in America Part 1 and Angels in America Part 2, with the way that it's sort of pitched and how it feels as a piece. And they do feel like three very distinct voices, very different voices. I struggled, and I know you didn't, to reconcile all three in one piece. I just found that there was a lack of consistency a little bit. It didn't deter, but I found it a little bit jarring at times, just to say, well, is this funny now? It was funny in the first act. Is it light? What is it? Oh, it's still a bit of this, and it's a little bit more of that. It wasn't.
See, I completely agree. I think this is where fantastic writing comes into its own. When in one moment you are laughing, and the next moment you're crying. Next moment you're laughing. Next minute you're terrified and you're holding your breath. 1 minute you're laughing again, and the next minute you're being dragged into an old kind of rabbi story of how he's a wanderer and what his community has gone through. It's just really clever writing. Don't keep on the same page. Change the tempo throughout. And that's my opinion of the piece. Yeah. And I guess as it's very cold, we shall keep on moving through some of these things. So one thing to talk about then, music.
Yeah, I thought the music was really great. I mean, I love an underscore. I love a bubbling...
And the live underscore as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think it keeps a piece alive. I think it gives it breath.
And I think a piece like this, when you're going from harsh to bright, the music amplified and echoed exactly what was going on. It was just really nice use. Also, great
composer Alex Baranowski and sound designer Tom Gibbons working together really well.
Yes, really good sound design as well. It wasn't just live orchestra, also some really nice, rich, bassy sounds going on, and sound scoping at times to give real scaping, to give real nice atmosphere. Set, what do you think of the set?
I thought the set was... I mean, it was minimalist, I've got to say. It was fairly simple, but it was expertly kind of done.
Yeah, really well executed. I think the real combination of staging, set and lighting came together in this. Lighting design was absolutely brilliant. I think one of the best lighting designs I've seen recently.
I said at the first interval, the lighting was something to be admired and adored.
Yeah, you said the guy had won 6 Olivier Awards?
Yeah, he has 6 Olivier Awards. Mark Henderson, he did the lighting, which I'm sure we commented on was great for Girl from the North Country recently. Yeah. That had some great lighting. He also has done Sweeney Todd, American Buffalo, Don Juan, which we saw. You can catch our review from that just up there. But yeah, he's a master. He's an absolute master.
Some really nice lighting. Okay, how about cast? I want to say first of all the cast. The one that stood out to me is the young Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, child actors, they're enough to make you sick sometimes because they're so talented. It really
Oh, sometimes they're just like that. Sometimes it's like your mum says, do it like this. So you do it like that because that's how your mum says. No, not here.
No.
I believed every single word this young lad was saying.
And he can't be more than 12 years of age. Misha Handley we had.
He was fantastic.
He really was fantastic.
Really brilliant work from the kids.
He almost upstaged everybody in the whole piece.
And the cast was fantastic. Anybody else that stood out for you?
Yes, you loved Michael Pennington as Isaac, the rabbi sort of character. I mean, I believe he's just a Jew. I don't think he was a rabbi, but...
Oh, yes, probably true.
Yeah.
Beefing up his backstory there. But he did a great job. Also, the bishop was great.
Yeah.
Recognised him from somewhere.
Terrifying. Kevin Doyle played Bishop Edvard Vergas.
Yeah, real nasty character, but beautifully not playing the nasty character, just playing a real passionate, driven individual.
And the humour of Penelope Wilton and her timing, playing the role of Helena Ekdahl, was just brilliant. Yeah, she's a safe pair of hands, isn't she?
But hey, that's just a few people. We could go on and probably go through everybody. It's a really nice, strong ensemble cast as well, and they play many of the ensemble cast play many roles.
Like Jonathan
many
Slinger as well. Must mention that he has some great comic moments. We saw him playing Willie. Gone from Willie to Fanny
all in one video. Anyway, it's freezing cold, so I guess you are probably wondering how many legs we are going to give Fanny and Alexander here at the Old Vic.
Well, Fanny and Alexander here at the Old Vic, we are going to give 4
legs for Fanny and Alexander.
Yeah, it was close to being perfect for me. I just, like I say, for consistency of tone and just melding all of the 3 acts together, I just found was a bit of a jump at times. That no clear sort of thread, and I would have liked a thread.
Whereas for me, I'm happy to meet in the middle and settle for a medium, but I thought it was actually fantastic. One of the better pieces of theatre I've seen. I would recommend this as a story. 3.5 hours long is a big ask, but I was happy and really happy to see it.
What I did want to say earlier actually was I would be interested in seeing the film of this. It is a story which is set in a theatre by and large, and a theatrical family, so it lends itself really well to the stage. I can see why it's been adapted, and I'd like to go back to the source material.
But hey, that's just what we thought.
What did you think?
Yeah, please let us know. Comment below.
We'd love to hear from you. We're the Breaker Leggers, and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye!